Well, my name is Tim Eyman from Bellevue, and I'm struck by the fact that there are 4,600 people opposed to this bill, and pro is 1,200, and that is 80%, which is a pretty consistent percentage. What I'm going to talk about is the emergency clause that is slapped on this bill. Removing the parents' rights is not an emergency. Mount St. Helens blowing its top, that's an emergency. But negating a constitutional right, the right to referendum, is not an emergency. The sole motive for this emergency clause is to take away that right and force the citizens to have to do a citizen initiative instead of a referendum, which requires twice as many signatures. If you were confident that you were doing what the voters wanted, you wouldn't be fighting so hard to prevent the people from voting on it in the first place. What we've seen over and over again is this attempt, 20% of the bills have an emergency clause slapped on them. You do that in order to stop the people from having a chance to exercise a constitutional right, and you do it all the time. Out of 500 bills you pass every legislative session, about 100 of them you declare as an emergency. I question the motives behind this emergency clause, and I question motives when your motives are questionable. This is not even questionable.
Please do not impugn motives. Questioning our motives is also impugning.
I question the motive of the emergency clause itself. The emergency clause, it has motivated behind it to prevent the citizens from exercising a constitutional right. And if you thought you were doing the right thing, you would allow the system to go forward. Instead, the voters qualify their initiative, then you pass it for the sole purpose of being able to gut it the following session. I appreciate your consideration.